The Google Pixel C is part tablet, part personal computer. The C stands for convertible as it's designed to be accompanied by a $150 Bluetooth keyboard. Now, the device is a result of Google's control of the software and the hardware to ultimately improve the overall experience. It starts at $500 for the 32GB Wi-Fi variant and goes up from there. But let's take a step back. The Google Pixel C tablet is essentially just a Nexus device. Why it's not called a Nexus device in the first place is actually a mystery. Pixel devices have always run Chrome OS. In fact, the Pixel C is the only Pixel device to run Android, which makes me think it was never supposed to run Android in the first place. It was supposed to run Chrome OS, but for whatever reason, Google shipped it with Android. There's actually a fantastic article written by Ars Technica that I'll link down below that highlights a lot of those irregularities. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at the hardware and take a look at some of those irregularities. The hardware of the Pixel C tablet consists of an aluminum unibody design that feels fantastic in the hand. It's very cool to the touch, and because it is metal, it screams quality. It can be a bit heavy, weighing more than a pound, but the 7mm thickness, I would say, sort of makes up for it. There's nothing too unusual about the tablet in terms of buttons and ports. There's a volume rocker and a power sleep on-off button in the upper left-hand quadrant when in landscape mode, and we have a USB Type-C port in the lower left-hand quadrant and a 3.5mm headphone jack in the upper right-hand quadrant. The most unusual feature in the hardware department is the 4 top-mounted microphones. I would say they're unusual because stock Android doesn't support always-on voice commands, rendering them almost useless. But in addition to the hardware of the tablet, we can admire the hardware of the accompanied Bluetooth keyboards, that's right, keyboards, that are sold separately for a whopping $150. We have a magnetic keyboard with an aluminum back that is the most stylish and the most elegant version, and we have the Folio keyboard, which features a more traditional folded design and leather build. Both keyboards are Bluetooth and are powered via wireless charging from the tablet itself. So when the Pixel C is closed against the keyboard charges. That's pretty unique. It's pretty awesome. The keys themselves are fairly tactile and feature a fair amount of travel, especially considering this is a keyboard for a tablet. If you'd like, you can watch my full review of each keyboard. I'll post a link in the description for your convenience, but my favorite is the magnetic keyboard, although it's very awkward to use, and the Bluetooth connection is inferior to a physical magnetic connection. As for how the Pixel C performs, I've had mixed results. It features a 10.2-inch IPS LCD display with a 2560 by 1800 resolution and a 308 pixel per inch index. It is an absolutely beautiful panel that is very bright and very vivid. I don't have any complaints with the display. It's absolutely gorgeous. The Pixel C features an Nvidia Tegra X1 quad-core processor with a Maxwell GPU and 3GB of RAM. It's one of a handful of devices I can think of to feature the X1 chip, and it runs beautifully. It's extremely fast, thanks largely in part to the pure stock Android OS. But that's actually where I start to have complaints. Android 6.0 Marshmallow runs very well on the Pixel C, despite some reviewers reporting otherwise. What I can agree on and what I have an issue with is the lack of multitasking features. I mean, for a device with a 10-inch display, the software needs to allow running 2 applications at once, and it does not. So if you're writing a paper while researching, you'll need to constantly switch between apps. If you want to do 2 separate things at once, you really cannot, which is a major bummer. It once again makes you wonder if this tablet was made to run Android or Chrome OS, or to put it simply, an OS with no multitasking functionality or an OS with multitasking functionality. Now, with that said, we should definitely see an update to stock Android enabling multitasking. Google is absolutely working on it, and it will arrive this year. But at the moment, it's not here, and it severely limits the functionality as well as your productivity. The Pixel C tablet does feature an 8-megapixel rear and 2-megapixel front-facing camera sensor. I personally do not take pictures with the tablet. You probably won't either, beyond the occasional barcode scan or document scan, and for that, it's totally capable. The 2-megapixel front-facing camera sensor can shoot 1080p HD video, but it too isn't very good. It's pretty grainy. For the occasional Hangout stream or occasional selfie on the go, it'll get the job done, but the smartphone in your pocket will likely deliver better results. So Google claims the Pixel C can last over 10 hours on a single charge, but that obviously will depend on your usage. The 9243 mAh battery can last a long time, but you'll need to turn down the brightness significantly and limit how many YouTube videos you watch, or videos in general. Then you should be able to get around 9 hours of usage. I do want to take the time and note that the only major bug I've had with the Google Pixel C tablet was from turning it on and or charging it. So sometimes it wouldn't turn on or show any sign of life even when it was connected to the charger that shipped with this device. I would have to throw it into recovery mode and restart it that way and try and get it to power on. So hopefully it's an isolated issue, but I did want to mention that. The Pixel C features stereo speakers that can get very, very loud, but to be honest, they aren't anything special in terms of sound quality. The sound is a little bit tinny and it's not quite as crisp as I'd like. Also, they aren't front-facing speakers, they're side-facing speakers, so the sound isn't directed to your face or your ears. So what is the Pixel C good for? Who is it geared towards? Those are pretty tough questions because the lack of multitasking features severely limit the productivity of this device. It limits your productivity overall, yet it does feature a USB Type-C port, which can act as a USB port, a display port, and a power port, turning this tablet into a very portable but fairly basic laptop that doesn't run full desktop apps and will most likely require a USB Type-C adapter to get the most use out of it. The $500 starting price and $150 keyboard puts the Pixel C toward the top of the pack in terms of price. I would say unless you absolutely need a tablet and you absolutely need a tablet that runs stock Android, then the Pixel C tablet is your absolute best option. It's the best stock Android tablet around. However, for the average consumer, I can't recommend the Google Pixel C tablet when there are better options out there from Microsoft, Apple, and Samsung, just to name a few. The Android tablet that actually comes to mind is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2, which has all-around great specs, a decent build, but most importantly, it has multitasking thanks to TouchWiz. So the hardware of the Google Pixel C is truly superb, but the software needs to be further optimized for such a large display. Google has even said in regards to their Pixel products, and I quote, "We create Pixel products when we see an opportunity to rethink an experience in-house and design a new type of technology that will support and inspire the partner ecosystem. It's a beautiful idea that I think was implemented with the Chromebook Pixel, but unfortunately not the Pixel C." With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, it'd be awesome if you hit the thumbs up button, maybe subscribe if you're brand new. As always, I'm BoHD from PhoneDag.com. I really thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you right back here in the next one. See ya.